To make it easier for you to spot how a story both can work well and how the same story also can have a flip side, I will share a story with you about this. A passionate developer has been working for many years for Systematic. His colleagues often find it really fun to work with him, since he is colorful and he makes other people laugh. And he always shares his knowledge and ideas, and he's ready to help. For many years, he has been saying about himself, "I'm an Italian." He has said it like in the film Godfather, and his intention was to describe his colorful personality, his big passion and willingness to step up and take responsibility. Looking from the outside, I believed it worked well for him when he used this talking with new people. I saw that it was clever because quickly they got an idea of who he was as a person with that fast headline of his personality. The effect was that they felt much more relaxed and comfortable around him sooner. But how did this truth about him work in other contexts? Let's say the situation was that he had a lot of emotions and sometimes expressed these emotions in a way where it made other people around him feel uncomfortable. Let's say other people around him found it difficult to cooperate with him at those times, because sometimes it was too much, and when they gave him feedback, what happened if he said, "I'm an Italian, what can I do?" Then what? Basically using the same story, but in this context, would give his story a bad flip side. Because then it would mean that he wasn't capable of change, because he was who he was. You can't change where you were born. Everybody knows that. Obviously, the flip side of the story in this context put him into a psychic prison of some kind where he would be closed to feedback and development. So what might have been a positive story in one context, and maybe it was positive when he created the story, became a truth about him that in the other context made him ignore other people's feelings. It made it difficult to improve the cooperation and prevented him from important development. He said basically that he was either not willing or capable of change. But he was lucky. One day a new colleague came into the team and he kept talking about the issue with the developer. He went on and on and on about how he felt, and his mind completely shut down whenever the emotions were running high. That's what he told him. The two of them talked about it several times, and suddenly the developer became aware of the prison that was hidden in the story. And he was surprised, because he found out that the story was in fact not the truth about him. In many areas, he did control his emotions. And in some areas, it was even very easy for him, like for example when he was together with his wife and kids. So he spent some time thinking about it. He discussed it with his new colleague too. And after some time building on the talks and the insight, it became possible for him to transfer his abilities from how he was at home to how he was at work. He focused on how he thought and felt when he was together with his kids. He found that he simply had to remind himself at work, like what he did when he was together with his kids, that people around him always did their very best. Always. And what they saw and experienced was often not the same as what he did, simply because they were different people. He thought about next too. We all learn all the time, everywhere. He wanted to stay open and learn too, more than ever. So with that new insight, he practiced being in a specific mindset that he called open, calm, and curious. He especially needed it and practiced his new mindset at work when something was at stake, because he found out that his great passion and desire to do a great job could easily provoke his temper more in these situations than in others. Take a moment now to reflect about this story to see if you have stories like this. Hit pause to work.